Well, at the end of the day, as we say good afternoon from Toyota Park, as far as competition games are concerned, they don't get much more important than this. It's the Brisbane Broncos Team 5 up against the Cronulla Sharks Team number 3. And the loser tomorrow morning will be out of the top 4. The Broncos, 4 losses on the trot. They've had a pep talk in the sheds from Alan Langer. Now the Sharks, they could be farewelling at Toyota Park many of their heroes, including their coach and, of course, his son, Martin Lang. They take the field without one of their favourite sons, Matt Rogers.
There may be no Matt Rogers, but they welcome back David Peachy, their captain. He's the fullback. Groves comes in for Rogers. Best the other winger. Mellor and McKenna, the centre pairing. Adam Dykes and Preston Campbell, a smart pair of halves. Nick Graham at lock. Long with McNicholas, who's in for Sean Ryan. A front row is Stevens, Ferris and Lang. And on the bench, Pearce, Stewart, Treaster and Gallen.
And a lot of changes in the Broncos side. This is how they'll line up to start the game. Lockyer, Takiri, Saylor. Walker is back. Devere. Kelly moves to 5'8". Berrigan. Harrison moves to lock. Webb comes off the bench into the second row with Carlaw, Sivanasiva, Webke and Ryan comes in for the injured Pritis. Myers, Parker, Burns and Walker on the bench, coached by Wayne Bennett.
And the man in charge is Paul Simpkins for this round 24 game. Devere starting, kicking towards the northern end. That's the Botany Bay end of the ground. And Peachy sending Martin Lang back with a strong run back to the 20-metre line. First play of the day. And now his partner in crime, Jason Stevens. They keep going left for Nathan Long, the blonde-headed second rower. 35 away from their own line. Breeze with them in the first half. It's coming from that bottom left-hand corner of your screen and then diagonally across. Ferris in 9, keeping Treaster on the bench these days. Graham with a little kick. He's looking for Dykes. The bounce of the ball beat Dykes. And so the Broncos come up with their first touch of the ball.
A shocking bounce there for the Sharks. That was a real opportunity. Fortunately for the Broncos, Stuart Kelly, the man, was in the right spot. And Andrew Voss, exactly right. We have got Lottie Takiri at fullback. Chris Walker was playing on the left wing, but Stuart Kelly is now out there. Darren Lockyer expected to be much closer to the action.
Carlaw to the 40-metre line, Sharks end. Harrison all over the place, this Broncos team. Through from Berrigan. Now to the 5'8" Lockyer. Lovely ball, rifled away to Chris Walker. And it's turnover time. McNicholas.
This is a perfect example of throwing a pass to a man to put him into a gap. Fortunately, it was the last tackle. Walker didn't have an opportunity to kick. Long tackle, 40 out.
35-16 this year at ANZ in favour of the Broncos. They've beaten the Sharks the last 4 times they've met. Here's McKenna. They played the Super League Grand Final in 1997 in front of a crowd of 59,000 that night at ANZ. Here's Dykes kicking for his outside men. Mellor is leading that chase, but Saylor's got the ball. And then a strong effort by Mellor will get them the football back.
It's a good tackle here by Paul Mellor, and these are the types of players that can turn football games. Wendell Saylor, a big man himself, 5 yards out from the line, but Mellor just gets him going, and once the momentum's in his favour, is able to push him into the end goal. A great start for the Sharks, a line drop out to the Broncos.
Former Rabbit. Big kick-off, indicating to me that that bruise is not really much of an advantage to anybody. Rugby league drop kickers aren't the best in the world, but that went more than 50 metres on the fly. Tackle 2 now for the Sharks, and Lang up to the 30-metre line. Laying it back for Ferris to offload for Graham, and then they put some work together across the back of the ruck, and Dykes finds Campbell. Campbell finds Peachy. It was catch and pass that had to go wrong sooner or later, and it's picked up by Gross, who goes skirting back towards the middle of the ground. Playing it from jumper number 18 is Brent Gross today. Graham got a ball off. Nathan Long inside the 10-metre line. Ferris pushing Campbell out of the road. Puts on a dummy. Then he goes back to Campbell. And he puts in a little kick. There's trouble here. Walker, just for a moment, I thought he might have been into some space. He left Nick Graham grasping at his heels.
I'll have a look at this ball from Nick Graham. A superb, that's Arthur Beetson stuff. And he really is an underrated member of this side, Nick Graham. Worked from long to be on the outside.
He's not 100% at the moment, Graham. He got a kick on the head as he tried to tackle Chris Walker. He's just hiding a little bit away on the blind side, trying to get his focus back. Here's Sailor now. 30 metres out from his own line. 50. Tackle. Just 19 metres for the Broncos since Walker came up with the ball. Harrison's kick is big. And Peachy now on the kick return. Angling across, dummying to Campbell. Floating it out a little bit suspiciously to Gross, and he will play the ball on the halfway mark. The Sharks are 4th, the Broncos are 5th. Broncos can go up to number 3 with a win today, and the Sharks can go back to number 5. So they're playing swapsies today. McNicholas, he was playing tough football. Now it is Berrigan who's taken the ball down inside the 30-metre line. Takiri started off to the blind side before feeding it back for De Vere, and De Vere is brought down on the 20-metre line. The Sharks' defence extended at the moment. They find Lockyer. He turns it back in for Webke, and Webke goes to ground just outside the 10-metre line. Now we find it coming away from Ryan on the inside for Sivanasiva. And the ball has been taken off him by Peachy. Well, if that's the case, it's a two-man tackle. It's either going to be a penalty try, or in fact he will rule that it's a try.
Well, this is a strip, no doubt. I don't think Sivanasiva actually gets the football down. He goes oh so close. There are hands under. No, doesn't. But then David Peachy definitely steals the ball. What a decision coming up now.
There's got to be one of 3 decisions. Is it a try? Is it a penalty try? Or will it be a penalty to the Broncos?
I think it's a penalty to the Broncos because I think the try had been stopped. The ball had been held up, and that takes the certainty out of the try being scored. The try stopped there, but now he steals the football. I just think the penalty. Yeah, we've got the decision pending, and a tough one to start the afternoon off.
So it's no try, it's a scrum. There's McNicholas now, just inside the 40-metre line. I've got to believe that the breeze is with the Sharks. It's just that dropout that the Broncos took that's got me worried. Looking at the flags away to my right now, they're indicating a favouritism towards the home side. Here's Dykes, who drifted from the right to work on the left of the ground, and that kick will find touch.
It's a 40-20, right?
It's a 40-20, all right, Peter. It's a lovely play. He's used up that breeze. I said to you he was on the right of the ground, and then he's floated across. Look at him go. There he goes, floating over to take advantage of the breeze blowing that way.
Well, that's pinpoint. Superb work from Adam Dykes. As you can see, he's the left footer. That's the best side for him. The wind was favouring him that way, and he's just come up with the perfect kick.
He will be replaced here next year by Matthew Johns, and Adam, of course, will transfer to the Eels.
Hold it still. I'll go in and stay in. Stay in, Ashley.
So the 40-20 advantage for the Sharks. Campbell. 2 metres from the line. The little number 7. Now they spin it. It's out to Graham. Graham looking for somebody to take the ball. It's with Dykes. Dykes goes across the 10-metre line, calling players around him. And this is McNicholas. This time it's Ferris. Out the back to McNicholas, away on the ground. Campbell scoops it up. It's with Nathan Long. And Lockyer gets some help in the defence to put him down 10 metres out from Carlaw. Peachy, run around. No, the dummy from Dykes, picking up McKenna back on the blind side. Defence for Brisbane holding at the moment. Ferris sending Stevens at them, flicks it out the back. Ferris, the ball along the ground. Campbell's with it. Campbell steps away from Webke, comes back to the 10-metre line, gets the ball away, tackled by Ryan. It's Stevens to Gross. Gross pushes away from one, goes back and has another go at him, and he's put down 2 metres out from the line. Ferris again. This is the last tackle. Campbell, his kick across, looking for Paul Mellor and Rendell Saylor. Saylor wins it, then he tries to scoot away. He's tackled out on the 30-metre line. So here's the Broncos coming back at the Sharks. Berrigan put down by Long and Lang. Harrison almost to the halfway line. So again the Sharks have been down there with a chance, and again they've come back with nothing.
If it were a boxing match, Ray, they'd put the standing 8 count on the Broncos. I don't know how they've survived here.
Webb, crowd groaning. They thought it was forward. Maybe it was. Harrison to the 30-metre line, and that's a turnover again with no kick on offer.
Second time, Ray. It's a cardinal sin. You've got to put some pressure on the last and just put the bomb up. Now the Sharks come back again. McKenna tries to get around Lockyer, can't do so. They are hanging on by their fingertips, the visitors.
They're getting Nick Graham off the park as we speak. Lang takes it outside the 40-metre line. And the penalty goes to the home side. Too long, he said. 14th minute of the game. He's getting one ready right now. Brad Myers in 11 is at the sideline. As the play the ball from Nathan Long is sloppy. This is the fresh man on, Stewart, in jumper number 16. Dykes assembling the troops out on this side of the ground, the left, and then he gets it to Campbell. Campbell puts it back on the ground. Ferris takes part. Ferris is over. Ferris is in. That's a try for the Sharks. The three little men combine. Dykes, Campbell, and Ferris. And Ferris has got the try at the 15th minute.
Well, they may be little men, but they're tough enough. Have a look at the collision here involving Preston Campbell. The short ball, bang, but still has the presence of mind to drop it out the back. Quick hands from Dykes. Jason Ferris, the big fend on Lottie Takiri, gets the ball down. It's been a long time coming, a sigh of relief that they finally got the football over the line.
I'm just wondering whether or not inexperience at the back for Lottie Takiri has cost them a try here. I know there were misses up front, but Lottie Takiri tends to, because he's a winger, doesn't understand that as a fullback he needs to defend gaps and not defend behind players. And you'll see there's a player in front of him. Dykes will get the ball back to Ferris. Ferris will dummy, left foot step. He'll get inside Berrigan, and Takiri was positioned behind Berrigan rather than a gap on the inside or outside, and he can't get to Ferris. Had Darren Lockyer been there, he'd have covered this hole a little better. Takiri just to get experience there at the back.
Preston Campbell attempting the conversion, Jason's try, and it is successful. So the first points have been converted. It is now 6-0, the Sharks over the Broncos. We've had 17 minutes go. 7-7 now, 6-0 the score in favour of the Sharks. Here's little Berrigan standing very strongly. Then away from Lockyer, finding De Vere. De Vere had Saylor coming inside him, but he's tackled on the 20-metre line. Eastern side of the ground. Now they come through Lockyer again with Harrison running off his left hip.
Hurting that tackle, Michael Veer struggling.
For Berrigan again. Then inside ball for Webke. Webke strains to get himself out of the tackle. This is the last. They attack the blind side, and Peachy's come up with the ball. Ringed by defenders, line dropout. Might have been a hint of one of the Brisbane chasers, in fact the kicker, being held out of that play. Injury update on Nick Graham. Let's do that with Andrew.
Yeah, Ray, Nick Graham came from the field complaining of some double vision. The doctors had a good look at him. He said that, look, we'll give you a little bit longer on the sideline, but he has been given the all clear to return if Nick thinks it's okay. And obviously on that shot, it's not okay at the moment.
Kelly. Firing it out for Chris Walker. You can't let him get into space. He drops it back on the inside for Lockyer, who goes back for Carlaw, and Carlaw in the centre is able to unload for Shane Walker. Now for Brad Myers. Myers tackled on the 40-metre line. Broncos into the park. Pearce is on for the Sharks, and he's in jumper number 14 as Chris Walker is helped to his feet. This is Myers. Just going to say about Pearce, I watched him warm up. He was limping in warming up, such is the nature of his right knee injury. You might catch some pictures of it during the game, but even just walking, he's limping. In jumper number 14, Andrew Pearce. Now it's with Lockyer. Inside the 40, back on the inside for Webke, back on the outside for Lockyer. Puts a left foot kick in, then he gets a little check in running. The Sharks are with the ball. 9 metres out from their own line. Ethan Long about to come back. This is McNicholas. Bound for Rabbitohs next year. Bound for the rebuild. Here's Pearce. This is the bloke I was talking about. Now it's fired by Dykes. Out for Best. Best takes a tackle. Uses the number 17, Dean Treaster. He's close to the sideline, but then submits and takes the tackle. The much bigger men out there, De Vere and Saylor. 15 about to come back into it as well. That is Carl Webb. As Preston puts a kick in that finds the line. I thought it was going dead in goal. It's found the line.
Nice kick there from Preston Campbell, keeping the pressure on. We pointed out with the Adam Dykes kick earlier for the 40-20. That's the favoured side to be kicking. The Breeze taking it towards the sideline. Still concerned with Nick Graham. Off from the roof, just trying to work out what they can do to get this very talented back rower onto the paddy.
It's the most frustrating thing in the world, double vision, when you get a bit of a knock and you just can't get your focus right. There's no pain, there's nothing wrong with you. You want to get out there and into the action, but you just can't pick up things as you normally do. There'll be a lot of frustration there for Graham.
2-on-1 here, but the Sharks sliding in defence. Kelly turns it back on the inside for Takiri. And Lottie plays it inside the 30-metre line for Saylor. That's where they are, inside their own 40-metre line, and they've been there too long. They've dwelled in there, and Saylor mouthing off at Pearce.
Well, he takes offence at Andrew Pearce here. A little bit of treatment up around the head area. Wendell gets joy with the penalty. 2-2 now. Sivanasiva takes it to the 40.
He's looking at why he mouthed off. He's entitled to say something. So down the blind side comes Carlaw now. 6-0. Try by Ferris, converted by Campbell. That's all we've got. That happened earlier, much earlier in the game, at around about the 15th minute. Played by Myers, and they used the blind side. Berrigan, oh gee, that was a very good catch made by Carl Webb. Berrigan again. He's a real workhorse, as is this fellow. Darren Lockyer losing the ball. And clinging on to possession like next week's pay demands it does was Gross. Now Stevens. Then it goes away from Treaster. Across for Gallen. And Gallen is 23 metres out from his own line.
I can't help thinking that Darren Lockyer, all this extra work in defence, is really eating into his energy levels. Just watching him out here going up and back in defence out wide for the Broncos. A lot of extra running when you're in the front line. He's not used to it. He gets no chance to relax at the back. It's taking away from his attacking options.
Wonderful run by Dean Treaster.
This is a huge 10 minutes coming up. They are a tired football team at the moment, Brisbane. And you would think with all the possession that they've had, maybe the Sharks can convert that in the last 10. That won't help throwing passes like that. But a real danger time for the Broncos to keep their line intact.
Well, there was a loose ball on the carpet then, and Shane Walker won the scramble for it. It was slack play by the Sharks. They were the nearest to it, but they were beaten to the punch by this young fella, Shane Walker. Now Stuart Kelly. And a knock on by Berrigan. Advantage applies. Peachy knows there's a problem out there if he can make it out there. Now he's run the ball towards where they had a 4-on-2. Treaster goes up the middle. A couple of metres into Broncos territory. Peachy knew if he could have got the ball over to the left quickly, there was a big advantage for them. Gallen. Pearce. McKenna. Back on the ground again for Pearce. Stevens. Tramples over the top of Myers. Goes back for Nathan Long. Long runs through the wreckage, left by Stephen. Campbell! 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 Preston! Preston! Campbell is in behind the upright. Stevens punched a hole. Nathan Long ran through the debris, and Campbell has gone in to score.
No, he didn't pick this up, Hap. He couldn't have picked this up. Unbelievable. This is the mistake from Sean Berrigan, looking at the defence coming towards him. He gets taken out by Pearce, and David Peachy swoops. Now you'll see, as they come to the line, the wide pass, it's kept alive from Paul Mellor. Mellor bounces back. Jason Stevens drops the big hip, finds Nathan Long. Now, Nathan Long doesn't pass a football many occasions. He frees it there. He realises that if he can turn and swivel, there is a hole. Now, the hole is opened up for Preston Campbell, but what about the pickup? How does he pick this up on the run? Incredible stuff from the little man. 3 in pursuit. An easy beat of Takiri to take it round under the post. Just fantastic to watch.
The way the Sharks have been playing today, it seems that they just want to keep the ball alive. If they can get it out the back and in the hands of players like Peachy and this man Preston Campbell, who with players in pursuit, right foot step, and if you thought that was a good one, here's another one for you, and I'll just get around Takiri and put it underneath the post.
And he converts his own try. 35 minutes gone. Campbell converts his own try. 35 gone, Sharks in front by 12. Back at Toyota Park, we come back to another glimpse of the try, the electrifying try scored by Preston Campbell. He went on to convert. It took us to 12-0 in favour of the home side, and now they want to push each other out of the road to take the ball back. Stewart, barreling run out to the 40-metre line. This is Gallen to the halfway line. 35th minute is gone. Here's Treaster. He's having a picnic out there at the moment. Colin Best down, up again. Then it goes to Peachy. Now it goes away from Dykes. Out to McKenna. One-handed pass to Gross. Gross is away from Walker. He's got Takiri to beat. Takiri's got him and tackles him 7 away. Dykes. Peachy. Then away from Treaster. Campbell a dummy. Goes out wider. Finds Gallen. And Gallen will play the ball on tackle 5. Campbell puts the kick back. And Peachy will go up. He's come down with the ball. Gets it away to McKenna. McKenna gave it to Long, but Long was asleep. And the Broncos are with it. Myers. Oh, solid tackle by a former Bronco, McKenna. Kelly making a bit of space for Walker. Just outside their own 40-metre line. We are approaching half-time. in 3.5 to be precise. Walker finding Harrison. And Harrison is tidied up by Gallen in 19, Treaster in 17, Sivanasiva just across into Cronulla's half, tackle 5. The kick for Lockyer, and he punches it over there to Colin Best wing. Best and he's lost the ball. Now Devere, 10 metres out from the line. The Broncos were thinking about half-time. Now they're thinking about a try. 5 metres from the line, right in the centre of the park. Carl Webb. Webb's over the line. He's going to award it. Webb scores for the Broncos.
Well, they will not believe their luck, the Brisbane Broncos. Everything going along sweetly for Cronulla. Well, the Sharks, and in sidestepping, Colin Best has just completely lost the football. Wendell Saylor getting it to Michael Devere. And with tackle count restarted, Carl Webb close to the line. A nice little step, left foot into the hole, carrying defenders across.
We saw Sivanasiva nearly score a try in similar fashion in the early opening moments of the game. Now Carl Webb with brute force is able to force his way over smaller players across the try line. That has always been an Achilles heel of the Sharks. Big men running hard and straight. But the Broncos, as Peter Sterling said, will not believe their luck. Darren Lockyer or Mike DeVee can convert this try and make it 12-6 at half-time. It's Lockyer that's going to take the kick. Obviously, DeVere's got some problems. 12-6 at half-time, given the flow of the match that we've seen. Wayne Bennett won't be able to believe his luck at the break. What a crucial try just before half-time.
So Lockyer pushes it out. He's missed it. That might come back to be a nightmare. 12-4, close to half-time, Andrew. So half-time within a minute. Myers. Colin Best will need some encouragement at half-time. Sivanasiva. He is one of a few Brisbane forwards that I don't think are having the impact that they were at the start of the year. Webb now forced back to the 30-metre line almost.
Well, they certainly don't have Brad Myers and Dane Carlaw in the kind of form that saw them take on the Kiwis in the one-off test this year. Really, the man who's been carrying them to some degree, and I mean that with all due respect to the players, is Shane Webke.
So David Peachey bringing it back, the last play of the half. And he's decided to take it over the sideline, conveniently near the exit to the dressing rooms. That's smart play by Peachey. First to the tunnel, first to the drinks. And Colin Best, the man I was talking about, he's going to need a bit of encouragement because losing that football has put the Broncos on 4 points at the break. 12-4 is the score. It is half-time. The big match of the day, the second half in just a moment. Breeze in the second half with the Broncos as Campbell takes us into this. Bradley Myers lost his footing. He was gone to the world, and somehow or other he got up in time, or got to his knees to catch the kickoff. Here he is, Brad Myers, second rower, not supposed to be able to do that, but he did. Webke now, after a rather shaky start to the second half. Sivanasiva thunders up towards the halfway. Back for Walker, Shane, then for the kick. Now Lockyer at the back, and Peachey has put it down. Saylor tries to take it, Takiri tries to take advantage. Just looking at that little passage of play, Lockyer looks like he's gone back to his normal position. Here's the kick. Peachy just could not get a grab on it. And then Takiri tries to grab the advantage that was his to take.
Unfortunately for David, he read it well. He knew that there was a chance that Lockyer would go for that 40-20. Was in great position, just couldn't catch the football. Stuart Kelly feeding the scrums.
This is the hooker. Out at 5/8, Ryan. Shane Walker for Bradley Myers. And Myers underneath the three-man Sharks tackle. Back to the middle they go for their playmaker. And it goes to ground. It went backwards, and Lockyer is still with it.
Well, that's what the Broncos have always been looking for. Lockyer to pass it to Lockyer.
Now Sivanasiva again. Lockyer away to the left. Getting a long pass. Turns it back. Harrison, he's able to keep it alive. And Shane Webke's pass goes to ground, but it's gone forward. So the Sharks have scrambled in defence and brought a scrum to which they will have the loose head and feet.
Things aren't running smoothly at all for Brisbane. Earlier in that set of 6, Darren Lockyer couldn't find an inside runner. The major positional changes out there at the moment. They do only trail by 8. Very noticeable, Michael De Vere has come out involved in that tackle with his left knee heavily strapped. That was obviously the concern in the first half.
Stewart that was. Now Pearce. Down this western touchline with the shadow starting to extend. Gallen. Almost on the halfway line. And he's penalised Sailor for staying in the tackle too long.
I think that's a harsh penalty on Wendell Sailor. There's no doubt to my mind that number 19 there for the Sharks, Paul Gallen, kept trying to make his way upfield, and Wendell Sailor was quite entitled to hang on to whatever part of him he had.
So Jason Stevens now really hitting the line of power. He's left two of the Broncos wounded up the field. Trista finding Best across. Then from Stevens, taken by Campbell. 5 metres out from the line. The Broncos are trying to plug the holes. Penalty to the Sharks. The tackler came up with the feet.
There's Brad Myers and Ashley Harrison left on the ground. They're both back in the defensive line, but they're both far from healthy. In fact, they're right next to the post there, doubled over. The trainer has gone out as the Sharks decide what to do with this penalty.
Stevens, he hit them like a runaway 10-pin ball. And the 10 pins were left on the ground. Look at them all over the place. Ashley Harrison and Brad Myers both injured when they got run over by a bloke called Stevens. Did somebody get his number? They're going to take the kick.
Shane Walker desperately there trying to slow the play, the ball down, enable his players to get back in the defensive line. Opportunity for Campbell now to extend.
Campbell gets the penalty. 14-4. The Sharks. Campbell 10 personal points in the game. As Sailor steps away from Peachy, beats another, stands and beats a third. Peachy goes back in to ride him to the ground. The crowd loving not only the efforts of Wendell Sailor, but the double effort of David Peachy. Played by Myers. Webke straight ahead. Then forced back, and again the crowd roar. Now Ryan. Over to the left of the ground on the blind side, it's Carlaw.
That's been one of the real highlights of the game so far, the two number 8s clashing, Webke and Stevens going at each other full pelt. De Vere brings Sailor back on the inside, but again, plenty of defence there led by Dykes.
Fifth tackle. Lockyer. He's got Walker after it. Walker got the bounce. The ball goes adrift. It's with Sivanasiva over the 30-metre line. Straightens the attack. Fifth tackle still. Battered down by Brisbane. Now it's knocked back by Brisbane. It's still play on. Player held. There was a player held out of it. It was Harrison. Now it's Takiri. Takiri inside 30. Inside 20. The kick there for Cronulla. And it's with Gross. Ashley Harrison got held out of the play for mine.
I'm glad you're up to speed with it, Ray. I couldn't keep up. Peachy loses the football. Harrison, he's got support to the left.
And they've got the numbers out there. They've got two running at one. It is Kelly tackled 10 away from the line. Chris Walker for Takiri. A metre from the line. Chris Walker again. On the bounce through to Lockyer. Lets Webke run. Trails around behind him and finds De Vere. De Vere tackled 11 metres out from the Cronulla line. Played back for Ryan. Myers on the blind side. Hits the line. Looks at it. Can't get it over. Plays it back quickly to Ryan. Ryan has a go himself and they try to hold him up in goal. And they have succeeded. Held up in goal. So that will give Brisbane another chance.
They just can't construct their way across the line, the Broncos. It's going to take someone barging, as Sivanasiva did, as Carl Webb did, and now Ryan from dummy half trying his luck, but well held up there by Nathan Long. But a terrific opportunity to get themselves back on the scoreboard, the Broncos.
Treaster slowing it down as much as he can. The Broncos winning the scrum. Long ball, finding Lockyer. Second man play for Chris Walker. Now for Takiri to cross the line. Takiri scoring for the Broncos.
Well, no matter how they're playing, the Broncos, there are championship qualities in this football team. If you give them a sniff, you do so at your peril. A nice constructed move here. They go wide. Second man passes, we freeze it there. Now what, by this man going across, it's attracting these two defenders, and eventually the try scorer will come back on the inside into that hole. Big hole opening up 2-on-2. Chris McKenna had been tied up in some inside defence, and that allowed Takiri to come back into a gaping hole to get across.
Yeah, the key to this play was the fact that Lockyer took the defence line on. Even though he was going to throw a second man play, he got some defenders interested. Both Peachy and McKenna came in on him. That produced the speed for Walker on the outside, who drags Gross wider. Back inside to the big man who runs straight and hard to Keary. It's just a matter of planting the ball down there, and that's a great opportunity. Good work there by Lockyer to engage defenders. That then allowed Walker with his speed to drag the defence to the edges, turn it back inside to a hard straight runner. Takiri did the rest. Good work. A vital try to the Broncos. And a bit of reward there for all the tough work they've done to stay in the contest.
So Michael De Vere, 10 metres in from touch. And back on the 20-metre line. Strikes it. It's looking beautiful. He doesn't kick them any better than that. John Lang for the water bottle. 54th minute, 14-10. The Sharks in front. Myers. This is Ryan. Big boots to fill for him, Luke Prittis. That is Takiri now. On the halfway line as Walker sends Kelly ahead. Stewart. Kelly just outside the 40-metre line as they find Lockyer. Puts on a little sprint. Then he puts Walker through a gap. Shut the gate. Too late to shut the gate, don't worry about it. Walker's put the ball down. A little bit of gesticulating to the crowd behind the uprights at the southern end, and the Broncos are level and about to go to the front.
And as we freeze it there, you can see that deliberately opened up on the inside. No surprise, Darren Lockyer going up to the defensive line again. And as soon as the pass is thrown, there was a hint of a forward pass, one-on-one. Chris Walker up against Peachy. There was only going to be one winner there. And believe it or not, the reigning premiers are in front.
Yeah, the key to this try was speed, and I just don't mean foot speed. I mean speed between the ears, quick thinking. Lockyer got the ball, realised he had Walker on the inside, and both of them ran at the line very, very quickly to commit one defender. The short pass, too much speed and evasion for Peachy. He'll go round, put it down, and now have a few choice words to say to the Sharkies fans at the end of the ground. Thank you. I might even be back today.
Loves his profession, Chris Walker. And now De Vere from right in front to do what Peter Sterling said they would. The Broncos go to the lead. First time in the game, 16-14 after about 1 hour of play. Paul Mellor with a grinding run up the middle, and now a blinding run by Campbell. Supported by Colin Best, looking for support. It comes. Now he gets it back to Best. Now back to Campbell. Campbell kicks. Now the race is on. De Vere and Campbell. De Vere tackled by Campbell. Sailor. Shane Walker, Stuart Kelly, tackled inside 20.
Well, I think if Wayne Bennett has got fresh men down on the bench, he'd better get him out of those tracksuits and out onto the field. He's got some walking wounded out there and some very tired players. Here's Burns coming to the sideline.
Lockyer throws the dummy, tries to break them. Lang and Graham combining to make the tackle. As Harrison kicks down to David Peachy. Now the Peach. Off his 30, comes to the 40, comes to De Vere, uses Campbell. Campbell gets out of one, not the second. One gets the impression if they're to win this, it'll be a bit of the magic that only Peachy and Campbell can provide. There's already a sign of it happening. Lang up the middle. Lang still going. Wonderful effort. 31 metres out from the line, trailing by 2. Graham, Dykes. Ferris at dummy half. Stevens. Oh, got the arm free, couldn't get rid of it. Ferris on 5, puts a kick in, beautifully taken by Dane Carlaw.
Yeah, plucked that one out of the air. Somehow the Sharks have got to come up with better finishes to their set down at that end of the field. Last 2 kicks have been coped with fairly comfortably.
To Keary. Webb. 10 changes made by the Sharks. 8 by the Broncos. Sibbons even. And Webke's about to come back into the game. And Corey Parker for the first time into the game. Peachy back in this corner. Knocked backward, said referee Simpkins. And then Peachy confronted by Takiri, beats him, runs across the face of the entire Broncos team almost. Plays it just outside the 20. Now Paul Mellor. Crowd roaring for inside the 10. They're trying to referee Simpkins at the moment. Matt Nicholas still going inside the 30-metre line. Well, then stop worrying about the penalty. They were pushing the Big Mac down the track. Now it's Dykes. This is Lang. Dykes is on the ground, still getting up. 11 out from the line. Centre of the ground. Ferris away. Stewart is with it. Stewart loses it. It comes out to Graham. Graham's on his own and tackled 5 away.
It's the last now. They've got to come up with a clever play, get a result somehow.
Campbell floats it away. Dykes for McKenna. McKenna for Gross. Gross, it's gone away. They're over. McKenna. McKenna has scored. That is an incredibly gifted try. Full of talent, full of creation. McKenna has scored. At least I think it's McKenna.
Yeah, that's the result, all right. Great work from the Sharks on the last tackle. A big bust made by McNicholas. The referee actually told the number 21, Shane Walker, to stay out of the play. And that, while he was backing back, McNicholas said, thank you very much. Then on the last tackle, this is the key pass coming up now. They realise if they can get it on the outside, they're a chance. Keeping it alive, Gross flicks it out the back. Fingertip control from Dykes, and then the basketball pass over the head to Chris McKenna.
Well, Peter Sterling called for something clever on the last tackle. How clever do you want it? In, back, flick pass, juggle, belted, over the top, put it down in the corner. On degree of clever, I give that 9.5 out of 10.
You're a hard marker. I reckon it's better than that. Plenty of pressure. The Sharks behind on the scoreboard. Realised the time was getting away. Their last play option hadn't been good in the last couple of forays down that end of the field. But gee, they got it right on that occasion. They're back in front.
By Jove, you know, when I watch something like that, look at the bench. The bench went up, the coach went up. More water for John Lang, he's overheating. When you see something like that, I wonder what the game's detractors have got to offer when they see sporting magic like we just saw then. What do the doubting Thomases have to say when these athletes provide the entertainment they do at the level they do?
Well, I don't have an argument, Ray. I don't know about John Lang going up. He might have gone up on the inside. I mean, it didn't change. It's Preston Campbell.
Yes! Sterling, a brilliant call of the goal. I didn't know you could get so high, Sterling. 20 points to 16. Here is a break. Lockyer rifling it out to Chris Walker. Now to Carey. Kick and catch. But the catch is made by McKenna. McKenna comes back, beats one, comes to Myers, gets it away. Dykes is with it, steps off his left foot, takes the tackle. Ferris, Graham, Mellor. Sailors there with the help of De Vere and Burns. But still Mellor, though he's defending, is making ground. Stevens has been like a freight train. McNicholas, the Big Mac, who made that tremendous run earlier, adds further metres to his total. Played back to Ferris, left side. Dykes inside for Stewart. Stewart is 15 out on 5. 20 metres in from the western side. They've gone to Dykes. He dummies. He gets the ball away to a Bronco. And the Bronco forces the ball. Darren Burns forces the ball.
Well, that's one way to get a line drop out. Usually you grab a kick it in there. Now you just pass it to the opposition and let them run it back into the end goal. But Darren Burns saved a certain try there. They are out on their feet, the Broncos. They've gone. They're just drawing on reserves that I'm sure they didn't know they had. They haven't won in 5 games. They're staring 6 down the barrel. Sorry, they haven't won in 4 games, staring 5 down the barrel. And will not give up.
So the restart sees Colin Best tackled on the 20-metre line, centre of the ground. The Sharks challenging the northern try line. Lang will play it to Jason Ferris. Players on the right. Campbell comes back left. Dykes for Peachy. Peachy uses Mellor. Big and strong. And he's over. Another try. That's the match winner. The Sharks almost certainly will get a home ground semi-final.
They will indeed, no doubt now. Martin Lang, like his front row partner, has not taken a backward step, busting the line, getting his team on the front foot. And Wendell Sailor, well, he's going to have nightmares of Paul Mellor. Early in the first half, he pushed him back over the try line to force a line drop out. This time he's taken him on man, spun out of the tackle, gets the match winner. They've given their fans heart attack here this afternoon, but in the end, they finished in style.
Yeah, the Sharks too persistent. The Broncos running on empty. The line dropout was just too much to take, and the Sharks, through Martin Lang, got into great field position. A switch of play. The ball from Preston Campbell across the right to Dykes. Dykes will go to the line with Nick Graham on his outside and bring it back to this man Peachy, who will now stretch the defence across the field. Turns it back inside to the big man Mellor. Now it's big man on big man. Here, bang. It's my day today. The Sharks at home. I won't be denied. Try time.
He has shown his strength today, Paul Mellor. We always knew he was big and strong, but today he's really stood up. Campbell, he has missed it from the sideline, but the difference is 8. Andrew on the sideline.
And Ray, I can only add bad news for the Broncos, or I guess it could have been worse as far as Shane Webke's concerned. There's no ligament damage to that left knee. It's a cork and a bad one above the left knee for Shane Webke. Look, I was just thinking of this competition draw. I mean, there's a chance the Sharks with this win today, they go to 3rd, but there's a chance they could finish 4th. They finish 4th, they play 5th, and it's more than likely the Broncos will finish 5th in the ladder. They might have the Broncos the first week of the finals here at Toyota Park.
But then again, they've got no government over that, have they?
They do not. Look, they get to 3rd position. It's their own destiny now, the Sharks. They can even get in the top 2.
Well, with this loss this afternoon, it does equal the worst losing streak for the Broncos since coming into the competition. At the end of 89, they lost 5 in a row. In the first 5 matches in 99, the same. There you can see the Sharks run home. The Bulldogs, that'll be a beauty next week. And then the Tigers, who, well, they're far from easy beats at this stage. So a difficult 4 points, but they put themselves in a position to take advantage of good work done throughout the year.
Ferris to Keary. To Keary in the end goal. To Keary in the end goal. Got it back. Good effort by Lottie to Keary. But the Sharks dominating now on the scoreboard anyway. 24-16. I was going to make the comment earlier, and I'll make it now. I don't think I've seen Jason Stevens have a game like this for a long time. I know he's one of our best prop forwards, but geez, I tell you what, he's had a big game today.
Well, Ray, I think he and Shane Webke have just about been the 2 best out there this afternoon. And isn't that wonderful to think that the 2 front rowers for their respective sides can have such an impact. Preston Campbell again has been irrepressible. But a lot of good performers out there this afternoon as the last signalled against the Brisbane side. And Lockyer again looks to kick deep.
1.5 minutes to go. As Peachy brings it back. Uses Campbell. Look at Campbell. Bobbing and ducking around like a cork in the ocean on a windy day.
Hey, you talk about shimmy, shimmy, whoosh. Shimmy, shimmy, whoosh with Preston Campbell. He is absolutely electric.
McKenna. Chris McKenna's been strong down the right side. He'd be getting special satisfaction out of it, McKenna. Now Lang.
Yeah, both centres have been great. McKenna and Mellor so strong. Their defence in the first half instrumental in getting that lead for the Sharks as Dykes inside to Campbell. Again beating defenders.
Nathan Long. Colin Best. It's come down to Ashley Harrison one-on-one. Well, they had some send-off arrangements in place here today for an army of people leaving them, but they can put them on the back burner because they will get a home ground semi-final.
Great tackle.
They will come back here again, the Sharks of 2001. Are they headed for another grand final? The crowd reverberating. They have beaten the Broncos 4 times in a row. The champion clan side has inflicted defeat on the Sharks, but not today at Toyota Park. The history books show the Sharks 24, the Broncos 16. They played Russian roulette for a place in the top 4. And the look on the faces of the Sharks tells you the result. This was Campbell with Phil Gould QC's Shimmy Shimmy Whooshka. That is the Shimmy Shimmy in the modern era, in front of a crowd of 17,894. A wonderful afternoon of entertainment. Some great tries scored. And the thrills and excitement still to come with the semi-finals just 2 weeks away.